Yes, welcome back to the morning flight. And this is a segment that it's, every time on the show we do three things: we educate, we entertain, and we edify your spirit. And this is the point where we're supposed to going into something very, very important. For food is key and is very important. And on Thursdays we also do human angle, and we know that there are different dimensions that we have to start doing for us in our food procession. Our food, how do we get our food? How do we preserve our food? How do we even get to arrange ourselves within that space? It is key and important. Our demand got to open our eyes. We've heard where the people, the deep state have come for GMO seeds and some other conversations, and we've seen where our farmers, some of the farmers have been attacked on all the things. But how do you begin to go around that conversation of having your homegrown food, your garden to plant and to do other things, because you need it. You truly need it. And these are times where you know that anything coming from there, you were involved in the process. It's not about imagination and thinking, oh, it will be fine. I just hope it's fine. I will know. You know it's fine because you were there from the planting to the harvest. The Bible says there's a time and season for everything. There's a time for planting, it's time for harvest. So we have to know what to do at every time, the steps at which we take. So we're going to be showing you this video, and when we come back, of course, enter into the conversation properly, because we need to arrange ourselves, because these are the days. We must be like the sons of Issachar that knows the times and the seasons. Let's take this video. When we come, conversation continues. We'll be right back after this. welcome back. And I'm very, very sure that you want to see the concluding part of that video. Don't worry, relax. You know, I'm the ambassador, and we're all here. We're going to be ensuring that you have, because you get to see it at the concluding part of the show. Now, we talked about something very important, and you will see some of the videos is key that you begin to do it. And joining us now to talk about, you know, homegrown solutions, farming, and everything that we need to do. In the midst of the conversations, we have a very special couple. We have Tolice Akinfeshola is here, and also Mrs. Alice Akinfeshola have joined us in the studio. Good morning. Good to see you.
Good morning, Tim.
I am very excited. I'm very excited. You know, behind the scene, when I was watching the video, I said something. I said, it took me back memory lane. Yeah. You know, in our compound growing up, my father had us every Saturday go to do some farming within the compound. Yeah. And we had things, the veggies. We had the ugu, we had the bitter leaf plant. We had also the egusi. We had everything so that in case we wanted to eat, you could just go pick up and everything. So please tell us, run us through this thing. Why should anybody even get involved in this? Because some people say, I'm not even a farmer at all. Yeah. So where should we start from in that conversation?
Yes, thank you very much. Farming is something that we were used to while growing up, was a number of people. But along the line, when many people took white-collar jobs, they gave up farming, and they concentrated on other things and left it to the farmers. But now you can see that with the different motivations that are trying to weaponize food, we are left with the option of having to go back to farming in an urban setting. So farming is actually something that we are all supposed to be involved in, and it's actually very simple. It's as simple as when you're going out, you can just do one or two things, just wet something, and then it grows by itself. You don't need to do something special to make it grow. Just wet it, add little things, and then you have different veggies, crops, different herbs that you just pluck up by evening, and you are good to go.
Now in Lagos, for instance, land seems to be a challenge. So if you don't have that kind of space, what can you do to have yourself able to have homegrown foods, vegetables and all? What can you do?
Yes,
yes, please.
Yes, you can actually go into farming, organic farming, by using like maybe waste plastics.
Okay.
Instead, you use them vertically, even in your little space or
so
little
when you say
corner.
vertically, what do you mean?
Yes, vertically, that means it can move around your walls. It makes it look beautiful even. It looks beautiful like as if it's flowers. So it can crawl through your walls or by your sides or anyhow you want it to look. It gives it that beauty. And for me, planting for yourself or planting your own meal makes you know what you're actually eating. Because you know how you have made it.
Oh, okay, so that's what we're seeing on the screen.
Yes,
now.
yes.
Wonderful.
In short, we planted ugu here. Ugu, it went spiral on those doors.
Wow.
And so anytime you want to cook, instead of going out to the market to go and get ugu, just pluck your ugu and with that.
Okay, now I'm seeing this ugu now. I'm looking at it and it's looking like, okay, come here.
Yes, it looks like flower.
It's looking like flower.
Yes,
but also,
it looks like flower.
It's also for anybody that wants to partake in it, they say, come here all.
Yes, yes.
Like
So
it's inviting, right?
It's very inviting.
Yes, your neighbors would even say, this is beautiful, please. Can you help me do? I had several of my neighbors that were like, they like it this way. They want to also do it this way.
So rather than plant flowers,
yes,
you could go ahead and
plant ugu,
this pumpkin.
Pumpkin, yes, fluted pumpkin, or even spinach.
Yes.
Spinach also grows so well like that. So fantastic. You think it's flower.
And you know, when you plant your own food, you escape from this genetically modulated seeds and everything, and you're able to be certain of what you ingest.
Yes.
Because you're the one growing it
yourself
at the home front.
Yes.
So I heard something about plants that repel mosquitoes. How is that done?
Yes, they are really, like lemongrass does that.
Oh, lemongrass.
Yes, it's a very good mosquito repellent.
I
Very,
know we
very
take
good.
that when boiled as tea.
Yes.
Natural.
It's
Beautiful
good.
taste.
It's even good for malaria and some other little even ephedrine, which is
That's
scent
your
leaves.
scent leaf.
The scent leaf is very, very scent leaf. We literally planted scent leaf on our should I call it soccer also.
Okay.
But it's so
understand.
nice. We planted it because you can even, if you have just sand, maybe you don't have loamy soil, you can transform your ordinary sand to a loamy soil. How do you do that? By making compost yourself. All those your egg waste, your eggshells, your vegetable or used vegetables that you are not using. Maybe you went to the market, you bought veggies, and those bad parts.
Yeah.
Just put them in a container, ensure the container, maybe a plastic you're not using anymore. Then open the top.
Yes.
When you open the top so that air can come in, you put those waste. It's not all waste that goes into such containers because you want to make compost. What's the purpose of the compost? Compost is like your fertilizer. Because so that you don't go buying fertilizer, looking for fertilizer everywhere. So that you don't even use all these synthetic fertilizers.
Yes.
You use organic one. So now these eggshells, banana peels, the vegetables you have used off, when you compile them there with your brown papers, maybe all these cartons that you're not using, cut them pieces, put them in there, they turn to sand.
Wow.
Beautiful golden black soil sand.
That's amazing.
That would make your soil, make your planting very beautiful. You won't need to go out to be looking for any fertilizer. Even to the extent that if you boil your carrots, you boil your veggies, the water, ensure you don't add salt.
Okay.
Just make the water cool. Then that water, you can feed your plant with it.
Amazing.
Makes it go. They are good fertilizer for your plants.
So can you tell us your story? How did you start?
How did you start?
How did you start?
We started basically during the COVID-19 period.
Yes.
You know, we were at home, we were not doing much. So we started experimenting. We started with vertical farming. In fact, where there was no light, where there, even for when we didn't have so much space, there was a place indoor. We had a place indoor. All plants need is light.
Light. That's
It doesn't even need
photosynthesis.
sun. It doesn't even need to be inside sun. So we had all these white lights. We did vertical farming inside our house. At the point, my landlord then asked me that, am I rearing a cow? You could see that at night everywhere was bright. And it was looking beautiful from afar. You could see our balcony was shining. Because the white light was supposed to make the plants to grow. So and before you know it, everything was just growing, and we decided to take it a step further. We started doing some research. We went to check what people are doing. Mostly people do it outside the country. We said, okay, let's do some research. And we found out that this is actually very simple. So from there, when we moved to even closer to central Lagos, we continued, and as we continued, we found people started asking us to come and plan. Maybe somebody just finished building there. They said, please come and help us do this. We actually found them some time ago in Lekki Gardens. They had issue with mosquitoes, and they said, please, can you come around, and we have mosquito is infecting all of us here in the whole estate. Can you come and help us plant around? And just like you said, we took about 3 varieties of mosquito repellents. We planted it around, and they testified that the mosquitoes died down because there's some aroma that comes out of those plants that does not support breeding of mosquitoes.
Wow.
And it was like, and it was looking beautiful. So that was encouraging for us. Then for me and the house, you know, to see.
Please, while you are still on that, the species of, can you tell us the species of plants for that mosquito, so that, you know, we had the WHO talking about malaria vaccines. We don't want that. So let's know this the plants that can repel.
She had actually
breathing.
mentioned lemongrass.
I know lemon. You take
That's one.
lemongrass one.
Marigold, and lemongrass, marigold, with this other lavender also can do it.
Wow.
Lavender leaf plants.
So
can
if you have it around.
Yes.
Yeah, so you can just do a combination of the
Of
three.
the three of them.
Oh.
Yes, you can do a combination of the three, and you know we've actually had a number of people that used it and they used that combination, and it was actually very, very effective.
Wow.
Interesting.
Very, very effective. At least the mosquitoes, once they pass, and then even aside from mosquitoes, even snake repellents. There are snake repellent plants. Once you plant them, the snakes, you cannot find snakes.
Please mention those plants. It's very key. So,
Yesterday was World Snake Day.
I'm telling you. So we need those
snake
plants. So snake
that
repellent
those
plants. What are the
reptiles can
plants?
be
So
kept
that
at bay.
Okay, I have their botanical names. I may not recall it. You know, some of these plants is by identifying them.
Yes,
that we
the
actually
botanical name.
see them. But I'll check up some of their botanical names. But once you see them, and then I think one of the challenges most people have is identifying plants. Now technology has made it easier. There is an app. There are apps. Just check your Google Store apps you can use to identify plants. Once you snap the plants, it can tell you the name of the plants, and then you know that this particular plant is actually going to repel maybe snakes. It's going to repel
reptiles.
Yes. So some of these things are actually around us. It's just that we've not taken time to check,
To research,
and then check how effective they are. There is the one that people normally call snake plant. That is not the snake plant. That one is, it actually has another value. They call it either mother tongue or snake plant. What that does is that introduces fresh air into
purifies the air.
It purifies the air.
In
So
the
we are
house.
looking, the regular one they call snake plant. It's a common plant, but interestingly, people put it outside the house.
But it should be.
It should be inside the house.
Interesting.
It should be inside the house. It helps to purify the air. The air, you just find out that proper oxygen, everywhere is cool in terms for breathing. Especially they have asthmatic When you put such plants in your house, it's looking beautiful, and so at the same time, it's just make sure it's not too far from the window.
Okay.
So that it can have a little bit of light. Light doesn't need so much light. Then everywhere is everybody is okay, and it's simple.
You know, while we're having this conversation, the phone lines are open, and you can be a part of the conversation. You want to find out how to have homegrown farming and want to be a part of it. You're interested in, because for me, at this time when I'm hearing this, I was like, okay, that means my dad did a very good job at the time, so I understand why. But you know, when we begin, sometimes a person want to begin is like it's always cumbersome and some other things like how do we get to how so what has kept you through the time? You know that this, because we're going to go to a demonstration. Before we go to that demonstration, just tell us, you're thinking, how am I going to stand since 2020 and up until now? It's still pushing. What has been that motivating factor?
For me, the major motivating factor for me is the fact that I'm seeing what I'm eating, and that is it grow. For the fact that it's even growing. You mean I planted tomato and it's growing? This is my tomato. I didn't buy it outside. I grew it. This is my cucumber. I grew it.
Yeah.
This is the first day I saw my cucumber grow and I saw it. I said, hey, see cucumber.
The
My cucumber.
excitement.
The excitement is fantastic. So that alone is satisfying for me. And that keeps me going. Although sometimes you feel if you must have passion for it. The passion must be there. There are other ways now we're trying to make proper research on now, which is hydroponics. With that hydroponics, you don't really need soil, but you need nutrients.
Okay.
And the lightning. So that there are some people who don't like soiling their eyes with sand. So with that hydroponics, when we are done with that research and the practicality and the effectiveness, then we can really talk about it. Without one, anybody, even in your environment, in your house, in anywhere. You can do it. Even in the offices, you can plant.
Even in your glass house.
Yes,
and
in the offices you can
there
plant.
every plant has its peculiarities sometimes. So for starters, it's always good to start with simpler plants like You know, you have some plants like spinach.
Yes.
This one that they
Water
use,
leaf.
we do.
Water
Those ones are
leaf,
simple
ugu,
things because if you start with
almonds.
sweet potato, like with this sweet potato, it can you
Takes
may
4 months.
you
Or
can you
4.
may, but by the time you start with something like spinach, you just put
1
it there.
month,
Maybe you go
yeah.
to, maybe you even buy the one in the farm, in the market, and then you
Okay.
just get there. Just make sure you put it on your soil, and then you see it encourages you to go to the next level.
Yeah.
So different plants require different things. So for when you are starting, start with something that requires more or less water,
Okay.
more or less water and a good soil. Then afterwards, you can now go to something like tomato that you may need to add. You know, like we saw when she was planting, she needed to add neem powder and Epsom salt
That
to help.
see, okay, now when it comes to that one, you were talking and you said to add water. But there's something that we used to add water and we used to ensure that every morning we take, or we do, and it's a routine.
We do,
That it's toothpaste, non-fluoride,
Okay.
and something. So now, I know because we have demonstration.
Yes.
But just tell us about it. How did you come about it and what motivated you into starting that?
Okay, thank you so much. Now for the, Pastor talked about, we didn't even know that it was that serious. Pastor talked about fluoride toothpaste and the adverse effect it can have on our health. And anytime we hear instruction from Pastor, we take it serious. We say, okay, what can we do? Instead of just blaming the deep state that they are, okay, since they are the ones that have been providing this, okay, what can we do about it? So we did a research on how can I produce my toothpaste by myself? And I realized that it's not even difficult, and the things to use are actually some reachable things. There are things around us. So, little research, we found out that, there are a lot of people that are actually concerned about it, even before now, that people were not listening to. So we found out that we had just 3 ingredients, very accessible, like we may demonstrate soon, coconut oil, baking soda, and peppermint oil. That's all.
Okay, so I think of that, it's we had already given you the releasing some, bringing the cat out of the bag. But now we're going to have demonstration here. But also, like I promised you, we're going to have the concluding part of that video, the home gardening, and when we come back, of course, we're going to have a demonstration of the non-fluoride toothpaste here on the show. We know every time we come on the program Morning Flight, we give you nothing but the very best. Watch this, that will join us while we prepare. Because remember, as He is in heaven, so are we on the earth. We're creators here on earth. Don't go anywhere. The things, what I'm seeing some things here.
Baking soda here,
Baking soda, okay.
coconut oil,
Coconut oil,
peppermint oil.
peppermint oil.
The peppermint oil is just to give it the flavor.
Okay.
So the basic things is the coconut oil and the baking soda.
Please, let's see.
So then you just pick 2 spoons of coconut oil.
Okay. Interesting.
Then for the baking soda, put 2 spoons likewise.
Okay.
3 spoons, sorry. Then we'll mix.
I love mixing processes, eh? Okay.
You can do more. That is, you can make more. Just ensure that the quantity of the oil to the baking soda is not too much.
Okay.
Because this will still get thick, just like what this is.
Oh, okay.
This is exactly.
It thickens with time.
Yes.
Okay, take it with time. Okay.
Yes.
And also depends on the size of the
Yes,
family.
the quantity you want to
Okay,
do.
the quantity you want to
Actually,
do.
it lasts long. Like what you seen there is a finished one.
Okay.
It can last, in fact, a year. Because
Wow.
all you need is little scoop of it. It does.
Does the magic.
It's very effective.
Interesting. Okay, so for how long I'm going to be mixing like
No,
this?
Just till it
okay.
forms a paste.
Until it forms a
You've not
paste.
added
It has
Okay.
formed
peppermint.
the paste.
Okay,
So-
then she'll go for the peppermint,
so
right?
now go for the peppermint. Peppermint is just little. If you have this cooper, that is just to drop.
Dropper.
Okay, the dropper, okay.
Just.
Okay, okay. For this, is this just for that? What if no? Okay, you're mixing. So, what about we want to have for children? Can we have other flavors? Because the children can really excited about these other things. Can we add other
Well,
homegrown?
And the mint, just the way you have mint in your toothpaste, the essence of the mint is for fresh breath.
Yes.
So we've not explored other flavors, but basically we use this peppermint to
So
give it
that's-
that minty.
You now put it in the
That
jar,
minty
you
feel.
leave it to form the paste.
Okay.
To something like
Okay,
this.
so something like this.
Has been,
Oh.
so you just keep
Use
scooping,
spoon,
keep
put
scooping it. So when you're just on your toothbrush, you scoop a little brush, and it does it.
Interesting. Okay, so this is
Free of fluoride.
yes, it's free of
And it's
fluoride.
actually
Free of fluoride.
even more effective than what you have in your market.
Oh, wonderful. I think this. I like what I'm seeing here already. Aha.
So this thickens with time. So after it gets there, you now need to put it in an airtight container.
Okay, so obviously we are putting
Yeah.
airtight
That's
container.
why
Okay,
it's
that's why
in
it's
there.
okay. That's why it's here.
Yes.
Okay,
So you
okay.
can use your maybe what you have finished, what you use for maybe your butter, your margarine. You can just wash it up and use it to house this. Cover it. It does not degrade.
It means nothing is, like what our Lord Jesus did when after he said, "Can you gather the fragments?" So nothing is a waste. So
Yes.
fragments and all this, so containers and everything, please, and we'll have it. So we have it. So after this process, we put in airtight
Airtight
container.
Yes,
container.
that's all.
Then
Then every morning
you
you scoop,
scoop.
on the toothbrush, and that's it.
and
No, it's not a complex. There's nothing complex about it. It doesn't need any machine.
Huh. Actually, I'm just wondering. I want to say thank you so much to Lokbe and Alice for coming today and showing us these things. And of course, we truly have learned. We've learned, and because like you said, it is based on the teachings of our dear man of God that we heard, we learned, and we're here to do. We do to become, and we're practicing, and everything has been fine. So, it's a pleasure having you here and being a part of us this morning and enlightening our eyes. And of course, for our viewers, I'm sure that you've had a wonderful time watching us this day. And we're here to do. So please practice. Remember that the kids are home this period. So while you're doing so much, there's sometimes some things you need to just play around. the garden, home gardening, and every other thing, it will be fine. And that's been our package for today. And of course, on behalf of myself and Peace, my P, and she's PP, we'll see you again tomorrow, bigger, better, fresher, and hotter. Thank you, Alice. Thank you to Look Back for being a part of us. We'll see you again. Enjoy the rest of the day and keep building, because remember, as He is in heaven, so are we on the earth. We love you. Bye bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.